Hi guys, it's Sophie. So today I'm going to try and film a haul video for you. I still don't know when I'm going to be back full time, but I felt as though I could film for you today. Just as a warning before we go in, I'm still not processing verbal information as well as I could normally. That will take me a bit of time. My concentration's not great, and sometimes I'll be saying things that won't make sense. But I think I can say enough that makes sense that this is an entertaining video, and you just have to put up with me and assume I do know what I'm talking about. If I mix up words or seem confused, I do know what's going on, I promise. So the first few that I wanted to show you are ones that I've actually already read, and then we'll move on to ones that I haven't read yet. But the first one that I have read is a poetry collection called Our Numbered Days by Hilborn, and this is a collection of sort of really honest love poems, talking about all the things that you kind of wish you didn't do in relationships, and like it kind of says on the back it's like funny and it's sad. Like it's kind of poems about telling someone you love them and then realising that actually you don't yet, or about someone wanting to break up and you pretending you're cool with it but you're not, and just kind of like the reality of the fact relationships, if you can hear squeaking, that is Foster. The reality is that you have relationships and people want different things at different times, and love poems and love stories aren't always the most accurate thing. So yeah, I quite like this one. I didn't love it, but I'm all for like honest love stuff, so it's that one. I have this mouse, so if she's like getting annoying, I'm gonna try and like throw it and maybe she'll play with it instead. So I have two children's books that I haven't read as well, and the first one is called Black Dog by Levi Pinfold, and this one is just so pretty. Like the illustrations inside, hopefully you can see that. They're just gorgeous, and it's the kind of thing where like I think I like the drawings most. But because my concentration isn't good, I've not been able to read properly, and when I was in hospital I got a couple of children's books because my brain could process the information. So yeah, I did quite like this one. It's very cute, and as I say, the drawings are definitely the best part of it. You almost want to like pull them out, stick them up somewhere. And the next one I got is the other children's book, and this one is called We Found a Hat by Jon Klassen, and I read like I've lost my hat or something, I can't remember. They're the same author, illustrator, and they're like, it's a really lovely colour palette. It's just about two turtles who both find a hat, but there's only one and they both want it. It's just funny. Like I don't know how he manages to make turtles so funny, like these tiny little silly drawings, but they really are. And they're really good children's books. Like if you have kids, they're the kind of thing that you'll be able to read and giggle at as well. If you don't have kids but you like pretty children's books, they are really well illustrated and I really like the colours in them, so you know, bonus on both sides. Okay, and then on to the ones I haven't read yet. There's only one that's non-fiction, so I'm going to show you that one first. Be warned, I think this is probably the ugliest book that I own. And do you know what, I'm enough of like a cover snob that some of the books are really ugly, I won't buy them. And if I'd seen this book I wouldn't have bought it, but I knew it was ugly, but I'd heard about it before I'd seen it. So yeah, this is Panzram, A Journal of Murder, and it is written by two men who are Thomas E. Gaddis and James O. Long. It's a true crime book about this guy, Charles Panzram, who is like a murderer, a rapist, an arsonist, like just a really bad guy, I think in the 1920s. The reason why I wanted this one and where I heard about it is I listened to a true crime podcast. It's like a comedy true crime podcast called The Last Podcast on the Left, and they read a lot of true crime books for like research for their shows, and said this one was like their required reading, like if you had to read any of them. I do like a good true crime every now and again, and what kind of sold me on this is a lot of it's written by the killer himself. He wrote his crimes out in a great deal of detail, and provided them to one of the prison wardens, and from what they can tell the things he said are true. So yeah, it's just an unusual thing to find that the person who's committed these crimes is discussing their own motivation rather than someone trying to interpret and figure it out. So there's that one. It's disgusting, and if I don't like it I'm gonna have to like throw it in a charity shop and run away or something, but yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to be interesting on the inside, even if the outside is one I'm going to have to hide from myself. And then the next one I have shown in a video before, but I know that not everyone watches the like vlog type stuff, and I thought I'd show it here as well. This is a beautiful book, so it more than makes up for the last one, called Jest of God by Margaret, Laurence, and this is what it looks like. I just want to show you the inside because I just think this is so pretty, so beautiful. There you go, so like the back and front are the same, they've got these like long photographs. Yeah, and this one is about a woman who is caring for her mum, who's like an invalid, and she has been single basically her entire life and has never had a romantic relationship, and she's got to the age where she feels like she's kind of accepted the fact that she's going to be a spinster. She kind of accepts that as part of her life. And she's in, does it say when she's in? Yeah, in her mid-30s, she falls in love for the first time, and this is a story about her falling in love for the first time. I thought it sounded like a really different kind of love story and much more the kind of thing I'd be interested in. I always like stories about people who are more isolated, and I think that sounds interesting. So yeah, and it's just stunning. So Apollo Books, I think they're called Apollo, but just Apollo, do other books in this similar style, and they're all beautiful. So if you are interested, go on their website and check them out. They've got quite a lot of different things on there. Now I've got a fair bit of stuff from other stories. First one I have is Don't Try This at Home by Readman, which has been knocking around BookTube for a while. It won the Costa Book Award Short Story Award. I can't remember if that was this year. It's published in 2005. I don't know. I think it's 2013. Anyway, this is a collection of short stories. I had finished all of my other short stories and wanted to get another collection. It's a very BookTube book. It's very like fantastical. So it says, a girl repeatedly chops her boyfriend in half, but whilst the other half multiplies, she's still not satisfied. Love transforms a mother working in the chippy into Elvis. Clary's father puts antlers on stuffed rabbits to make jackalopes, but when her mother walks out on them, Clary has to help her father if they're to survive. So yeah, just kind of strange, obscure, fantastical kind of stories, but we'll see what I think of that one. Just thought it'd be good to have some more short stories. And then the next four I have are ones that I'm going to be doing for my Around the World Book Challenge in 2018. So these are ones that you'll see now, and then you probably aren't going to see me read until next year. So I'll show you what they are, and I'll try and get the translator if I can remember, and I'll tell you what country they're from as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what this Around the World challenge is, I'll link my announcement video down below along with the links to how I'm progressing with finding my books. That was Foster saying the thing. So if you're interested, then please do check that out, and if you would like to suggest a book that you think I should read for one of the countries I've not yet got books for, you can do that. You can comment down below, or you can leave it as a comment on the Dropbox link, and I will read those and have a look at those because I'll be interested in kind of seeing what you guys think would be good too. Anyway, I'll go into the books I have now. The first one I have is Down the Rabbit Hole by Juan Pablo Villalobos, and it was translated by Rosalind Harvey. And I've heard of this one before. This is one I think I heard about on Jean's channel. It's Mexican, and it's about a young boy who I believe is living in like a drug dealer's house. Like maybe his father's a drug dealer, but he is trying to get a pygmy hippopotamus for his zoo. So I think it's like a really odd, obscure novella really, about a boy who's kind of trapped in this really weird adult world and what he makes of it. Yeah, so it sounded interesting when I saw it, and because it is so small and it fits on my criteria, I thought I would grab it. And the next one I have is my Argentinian entry, and that one is Southeaster by Haroldo Conti, translated by John Lindsay Miles. This one reminds me a lot of The Old Man and the Sea. It says there's I think a youngish man called Boga, who's working with an older man. And they work together cutting reeds. Yeah, cutting reeds on the sandbanks of this river. But when the old man dies, the man kind of goes off into this life of like really solitary, like wandering. The book itself is gorgeous, it sounds interesting, and yeah, it should be good. I really like the stuff that Andorra Stories published, if you couldn't guess, so yeah, looking forward to that one. And this is my entry for Argentina. And the next one I have is Sworn Virgin by Alvira, and this is my Albanian entry. And I was really sold on this one because of the top paragraph, like describing the novel. I read it when I showed it in my other video, I'll read it again. So it says, Hannah Doda is an ambitious literature student in Cosmopolitan Tirana. Mark Doha is a racky drinking chain-smoking shepherd living alone deep in the Albanian mountains. But in fact they are the same person. So I think that sounds fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this one. I don't know, it sounds like it should be quite funny as well, so we'll see how I get on with that. And then the last one I have for this haul is not from Andorra Stories, but it is another translated one, and this one is The Last Wolf. And this name I'm going to butcher, I'm afraid, but László Krakenza. Hungarian, I don't know if I just said that or not, but there are 3 novellas in here and they're all around wolves. So the first one is about a guy who's been asked to write the history of the last ever wolf, yeah, this particular wolf species in Spain. And the other one is a guy who's being asked to trap a wolf that's been ravaging a village. To sort of extinguish this wolf threat. It sounds interesting, and I knew I'd wanted to read from this author for my Hungarian entry, and I spied this one. I think this is a new one, and I just thought, yeah, do you know what, it's small, it fits, I wanted it from that author, so yeah, we're going to go for that one. So as I say, if you do have any recommendations for stuff that I should read for my Round the Line challenge, do leave a comment. I have my progress sheet that says which books I already own, which countries I already own books from, and ones that I've already found books I think I'd like. But please do comment on that, or comment down here if there's anything you think that I should read, or if there's anything you think I've missed out, or anything you think, oh that's awful, don't read it, don't bother. But yeah, so I kind of want to engage with that. Let me know if there's any of the books here that you're interested in. I hope you're well, I hope you're happy, and yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed hearing me chat, even if it has been a little bit all over the place. I think I've done fairly well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye. Right, Foster. You need to be good for me. Baby, you're tripping me. Why are you tripping me?